Alright, welcome back to Game of the Half Year 2013. Sorry about the crackling in the microphone. There's not much we're going to be able to do about it short of replacing it, which we'll hopefully do by Game of the Year time. So bear with us, and hopefully it's not too annoying. We are going to get right back into the action with our deliberations for Best Atmosphere in a game from the first half of 2013. As always, I'm going to read the list. Let me know if there are any emergency nominations. We have Dead Space 3, Bioshock Infinite, Metro Last Light, The Last of Us, Kentucky Route Zero, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch, and Animal Crossing New Leaf, I guess.
I told you.
So, I know. But that doesn't change the fact that it's ridiculous.
Is it ridiculous that it's on my top 3?
Yes. Yes, it is. Patently ridiculous. So,
That's so true.
best atmosphere. What does not have the best atmosphere?
Animal Crossing.
Animal
Does.
Crossing New Leaf
Just
does
saying,
not
yeah.
have the best atmosphere.
That's
Shot
amazing
that.
atmosphere.
It's like a second life.
Music draws you in.
What does that have to do with
The animals.
atmosphere?
Sharks.
You feel like
Sharks, yeah. Intense.
Yeah, it's like one of the most strongest senses of place I've ever felt in a game. That you're
It's-
actually there. It's a living, breathing place that is going on whether you're there or not. It
Yeah.
completely draws you in.
you have to actually, like you were saying, you have to make a time to meet this guy in your real
Yeah,
life.
that's a gameplay mechanic, not atmosphere.
I'm with Brock on this
Exactly
one,
what I'm
guys.
trying to
This
say.
is not what you're
Missing the mark
describing.
here on
Missing the
exactly
mark.
what it is.
I don't know.
It already won most addictive, which is what you're describing.
Exactly. Sort of.
Plus,
I don't
it's
see
too
it.
cartoonish to be a really good atmosphere, I feel.
Atmosphere could be a synonym for immersion, I guess. I think that we've used that in the past.
We have.
And I'm actually with Dave in this, and Brock, so.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were joking, but now I'm starting to think you are.
No, no, that's not. I'm afraid they're not joking at all.
This is dead serious.
Dead Space.
Just like the game.
Dead Space serious.
Oh, that's not my top 3.
It's not bad.
Oh,
Surprising.
Oh, I would say it's
Surprising.
that's in mine.
I expected it to be, but it didn't make it. It'd probably be 4th, probably. Sure.
So are we mixing it or not?
I mean, we can get rid of it, but it wasn't a joke nomination.
I can appreciate that it's not a joke nomination, I guess. But I also, like, even then, I don't know if it stands with some of these other games.
To say the least.
Are we good to get rid of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon?
Yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
I love the feel and filter of it, but yeah. Ni no Kuni? No.
I wouldn't call it atmosphere.
Yeah, me neither.
Atmosphere.
I think, which is weird because I think I nominated it.
Oh,
But having considered it further, I don't know if it's, like, I think they nail whimsy and the feel of this magical world, but I don't know,
Yeah.
like, best setting, like, best realization of setting, yeah, I think it's up there, but I don't know. I guess maybe not atmosphere.
So, hold on. I guess I'm really confused of what our atmosphere
I hate this question.
Yeah, this question sucks, and it comes up just about every time.
Is this like photorealism what we're going for?
No,
Like
not necessarily. I think, personally, Kentucky Route Zero is way up there in
That's
terms of best atmosphere
top 3?
for me. And that is the least photorealistic game on that list.
I'm just curious.
Oh, in the
No,
past
it's
we've used it as a combination of like sound design and the graphics and the music, almost to a point of like an immersion, but I don't know.
It's all about feel, you know. It's
Setting is also a good.
one of the least tangible categories we have.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's certainly not easy to define.
Which game makes your tummy tingle
There you go.
Kentucky Route Zero.
when you're playing?
It's in my top 3.
Metro is
Metro
That's another one.
is in my
up
top 3.
there.
That's in my top 3 as well.
Bioshock is in mine.
Bioshock is in my top 3. Good job,
That
guys. What do you
was
think?
my winner, actually.
It's mine too.
Yeah.
It's mine too.
That's not mine.
Yep. Yeah, one too.
Whoa, I think we may have just decided this category.
Uh-oh.
Ross,
Hold
sorry.
it. Hold it.
I thought there was no way you guys wouldn't let us not have The Last of Us.
That's what I was saying. That's in my top 3 right here.
That was a tie for me. Like, it was between Last of Us and Bioshock.
That's my third.
You're right.
It's
Say it. Animal Crossing's number 2 on my list.
Everybody has faults.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I don't. You're perfect.
I actually do have Dead Space 3 in my top 3. Everyone else is like, oh no.
No, I can totally see that, and it's up there for me too. Top 3's tough.
It got me.
Yeah.
The game got me.
The planet stuff.
That's the
good.
problem. Is I feel like I may have just seen
Yeah.
literally the best
Yeah, that
part in
first-
terms of atmosphere.
5 hours pretty awesome. Although there are some really cool parts they do this. So.
Yeah.
Like seeing necromorphs
Oh,
running at you
yeah.
in like a snowblind snowstorm, like just like the silhouette, and then it's
That sounds terrifying.
that's pretty awesome.
And then there's also parts where they have actually they dig underground,
they pop up,
and then you can see like debris coming up off of where they're under, and they pop right up in front of you, and you're like, whoa.
Oh goodness.
I always ran away from those for the most part on that. part.
I've had such few choice words when they pop out of me in the snow.
Exactly.
I have yelled at the screen.
Oh.
At
Yes.
first,
Yeah.
man, I was just
'Cause
not
I've heard
expecting
that
it.
has
And then,
Yeah.
then I finally got used to it, and I
Yeah.
still
I've heard
couldn't
that's
always
one of the
see
most
them.
terrifying games
Um,
to play.
It's for a little bit.
Dave
Yeah,
is-
actually it is. very
Dave is
scary.
discussing Slender:
I couldn't
The
really get
Arrival,
through it.
which came out this year.
Because none of us personally have played it, but I know of someone who's played
I've
it,
seen
and
I've seen it was a Slender game being played. I don't whether or not it was that one. I don't know.
Probably.
It seemed comically bad. But
I played it for like 15 minutes. My brother.
The first one or the new one?
I don't know.
The Arrival.
I've seen the
Probably
first one. That's the only one I've seen.
It's on iPad. Wasn't the best controls, but it's creepy. It is creepy.
and that is the point of atmosphere. Well,
For
partially.
me, they tend to go hand in hand.
For a
I
lot of
guess.
it, yeah.
They don't have to. Like BioShock, I still think's top-notch atmosphere, but not very scary. But typically, for me, it is the more games that have me immersed enough to the point where I actually am tense and afraid that tend to have the best atmosphere. So.
If that's true, then I love The Last of Us. The
It
clickers
is a good.
Oh, man.
make
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Because you can walk right up on them, and then
Oh,
they can't see you, but you can hear them.
They're so
Really
creepy.
cool.
And that was my number one winner, was The Last of Us. I enjoyed that game too much, probably.
It's okay.
It was my number 3. I liked it.
Like the reason why I have BioShock number 1, I'm trying to see if this is okay for definition of
I think it'll
atmosphere.
be tough.
It's not scary. I find it scary, but I love the atmosphere, like the
Setting in
background, the
place is-
setting in place.
Yeah, it's all about the environment and how well you connect to it.
Okay.
That first hour is unbelievable. Just
Yep.
wandering around, taking in this completely foreign setting. But yeah.
What got me through the game at first was finding all those little kiosk things and learning about the history. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Going to the museum and learning about the back history. I'm like, this is like the coolest thing ever. I didn't care about the enemies. I didn't care about my superpowers. I cared about learning more about this town, of how it raised into the air and succeeded from
Yep.
the nation. It was cool.
Well said.
Yeah.
So does that work? Is that why?
I think yeah.
Yeah,
that's,
sure.
That's it.
Yeah, you nailed it.
I think he also described a lot of people's experience with BioShock Infinite as well.
That is a very good definition. I think we have our winner.
BioShock?
Whoa.
It's not my winner, but
Hold
I
it.
totally understand.
I understand what you guys are saying. It's not my top 3.
Like Last of Us was good. Like it was realistic. It had a backstory a little bit, but it didn't really describe of how it started or what happened or where it came from. It just happened.
That's what
No
Brad
one
was saying.
knows.
Yeah.
No one knows exactly. It wasn't really a imaginative place and time. It was just there.
It was a little jarring, but I think I actually came to like it. Like it because it was so disconnected. You felt more foreign in that world, and I think that allowed it to be more effective in some different areas. Especially like some of the brutal violence is, for them is every day. For you is not. So I think that makes it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, again more effective.
I just like the environments of The Last of Us because usually post-apocalyptic games nowadays are like dark, dirty, grungy browns. This game they actually introduced a lot of foliage, a lot of trees.
It was surprisingly varied in its environments.
Yeah, I was
Mhm.
surprised by that.
You meant snow.
Yeah, the
I
snow
really
part.
liked the hunting
That was
snow
cool.
section.
I did too.
That was
I thought it was
neato.
crazy.
And some of those intense
All right, I have no idea if I'm getting anywhere with this, but I'm gonna take something you said about feeling like a stranger in a strange place, and I'm gonna try to make my case for Kentucky Route Zero,
Yep.
and it's not gonna work because
See where you're going already.
oh man, that game is all about feeling completely out of place, completely bewildered. Everything going on around you is so weird, and the sound design is nearly flawless in terms of just being a perfect aid to the environment. There's a room in Act 2 where there's a storm going on. You're wandering around this enormous room.
Museum.
The Museum of Dwellings. And it's a really strange. I'm not gonna try to explain what goes on with it. Just the feel of walking around in there, the sound, and everything is just unbelievably well realized.
And what's happening and what you're reading is just it further dissociates you. You're like, what is going on?
Yeah, it is gloriously confusing and strange, and I really hope it goes somewhere with it.
Yep.
I like that game the more I think about it, the further away I get from having played it. I really do think it's among the best atmospheres of the first half of the year. I know most people at the table haven't played it.
Well, actually, 5 of us have.
I've seen 20 seconds of it. Oh yeah.
Okay, so you, me, Kirsten, Thomas.
Tom did all of it. Kirsten did all of it.
Yeah.
Dave did the first episode, or did you
Oh,
do
cool.
both?
Of which?
Kentucky
Oh,
Route Zero.
I did the first.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Where do you stand on the atmosphere stuff?
I could take it or leave it. It was just too weird for me to really get interested in the atmosphere. I was more focused on just how confused I was about everything. So it didn't really capture me as far as atmosphere goes, but
Okay.
that's just that. Yeah, that's me.
I don't know if I would categorize it as best atmosphere, but it was very intense. It was like it did capture you. You did feel like what's going on, but I don't know if it would be the best atmospheric for half the year so far.
It was in my top 3, Brock.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not pushing for best. I'm pushing for top 3 here. Like if it can crack top 3,
Top 3.
I take that.
Personally, I'd probably choose it as the best. But so then it'd take a crap on the rest of the top 3. But I know that's not gonna get anywhere. So I'm just trying to impart why I think that game has great atmosphere. It's really tough to do with that scene.
Tom, what were your 3 here?
Dead Space, Metro Last Light, and Last of Us.
Good picks.
Yep. In that order.
Still up in Metro because it looks like an awesome
First to last.
environment.
Yes.
Looks so good. Oh, I'm a huge fan of the post-apocalyptic
Then
thing.
you will love it.
So
It is a great companion piece to The Last of Us. I think so.
I haven't played much.
Yeah, that too.
Sight gags, guys. Good work.
It seems bleak.
Impressive.
Sobering. Environments.
I'm not going to say it. So.
Yeah,
Nope.
let's just
Nope.
stop it there. Let's just stop it there.
All right. So we have 5 games: Dead Space 3, BioShock Infinite, Metro Last Light, The Last of Us, and Kentucky Route Zero.
They're all really good.
Yeah, they are. They
Yes.
are. I don't think, yeah.
All right, next
There are
category.
no losers here.
Yeah.
No
No
losers.
losers. All proud candidates.
Animal Crossing might be a loser.
Boom.
Boom, guys.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I totally
No,
understand
Alex
where you're
really wants that gone.
coming- I understand where you're coming from.
I know. If no one else is choosing like Animal Crossing, like I feel like it's like I think it has one of the best atmospheres just because it's a completely different world you have in your little handheld you're playing with. Oh, I know. We can get rid of it.
It is gotten rid of. It's been gotten rid of.
Oh, it has.
Yeah, it's
all right.
gone.
Yeah,
Why
I
would
know.
talk? Why did you bring it up?
I could
Oh.
say it's the same atmosphere that came out in, what was it, 2002, 2004?
Yeah, it doesn't
But,
change
I mean,
from
that's,
that.
No.
That's why I liked it, actually.
Except that you're the boss. You're the mayor.
More
I
good
wasn't
stuff.
You're the
it's
king.
for the mayor.
Yeah, that is cool. I didn't get
You
experience out of
are
it.
All right.
So, Dead
Yeah.
Space 3, Bioshock Infinite, Metro Last Light, The Last of Us, Complete Red Zero.
Top 5.
I did not like Dead Space 3. I am sorry.
Why?
I'm gonna throw that out there.
For atmosphere or in general?
In general and atmosphere, like
Ah.
so
This or this?
both.
Oh.
I think it broke away from the Dead
It
Space.
certainly did.
Totally broke
But
away.
I think 2 broke away first.
Yeah,
The
that's
2
true.
was still
Started
scary.
it.
2 was scary. 2 was it threw
Started it.
a handful. It started it. Yes, it started it. It did a Resident Evil 6 for me.
2 or 5 or
Oh,
3?
God.
That's a bad thing,
For
isn't
three.
it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
me.
that's bad. That's
It's,
really
this is
bad.
a bad thing. This is
That
a very
is the
bad
very
thing.
worst
bad
thing
thing.
that could happen.
Yeah, so this is one of the
I
very
thought it was. I wasn't sure for a second.
I played Dead Space 3 hoping it was going to be like the Dead Space series.
Yep.
The
And-
nuclear option
okay, so you
is
accept
it's
the
like Resident Evil 6.
Yes.
And, yeah, it's horrible.
Ultimate
Come to our
insult.
generation stuff. Biggest disappointment.
The big is actually it is.
It'll be up
It is.
I tried to play
Spoiler.
it. I tried.
And,
there.
Go ahead.
yeah. So I played it, and I was finding out that it's going to be an action shooter, not a horror shooter. Brock really
That's
like,
fine. No, keep going.
and every single moment, every single time I turned around a corner, I knew they were going to throw a zombie, not a zombie, but one of those alien things in front and behind me. I knew exactly when they were coming. It was so, I just knew. And then of course they had music coming and screams. I had this one scene, I had Zachary play it, watch me play it, because I don't think no one would believe me.
It was so annoying.
It was screaming for a good 25 minutes straight.
Hmm.
Do you know that one scene where you have like you're on an elevator and it goes to 3 sections and you're collecting pieces
Yes.
for that little ship? You're
Oh
picking
yeah, I
out?
understand that. Yeah.
Holy crap! That was the most annoying part in the whole game.
Is that a side quest or is that me?
No, that's main quest. That's main
and it
quest.
was just screaming
You're getting transmitted
25
parts.
minutes straight because I couldn't figure out where this last piece was, and I kept going back and forth, and they kept popping out of orifices, and
I think there was a side quest that made you redo something.
oh, it stressed me out so hardcore. I had to turn the volume on. I couldn't do it, and
Because it sucked you in too much.
it
I'm
was
not
just,
going to argue against Dead Space.
This one.
I mean,
and it was just so many enemies at one time. Even the last part got really crazy, and they just started sending waves and waves and waves at people, and they weren't easy to kill either. Thank goodness they gave you so much ammo.
the end of all 3 games are actually pretty similar, just combat-wise.
It was, yeah, I would say that really took me out of the atmosphere because I started hating the enemies because I knew exactly where they were coming from, and because they would always throw them out at me. Have you gotten into that kind of stuff yet? No.
I had a real different experience with, I guess, just with expectations. Like, Dead Space 2 was like, okay, wow, this is not nearly as good as Dead Space 1, so, okay. Dead Space 3, then I saw the E3 demo for that, and it was like, wow, okay, we got human enemies, we have a cover system. Well, Dead Space 3 is going to be terrible.
And co-op.
So then I played it, and it was like, okay, it's
I wanna
actually
play
pretty
co-op.
decent. So because I had no expectations, I was almost impressed by Dead Space 3. Yeah, because Dead Space 2 had lowered my expectations. So,
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. I tried to play.
yeah, it's not in my top 3, even though it's of course a strong candidate.
I tried to play it as a new game when I came into it because I watched you play a lot of Dead Space 1 and good parts of 2. So I was like, I'm just gonna come in and play this as a new game.
Yeah.
And there's definitely parts. There's good chunks that really got me.
I like the last set of Valeria's too. They're pretty alien.
Yeah. It's very alien. Oh,
Yeah.
I know exactly what I was talking about. It's
All
that
right.
atmosphere. Is
So,
scary.
are we keeping it or not?
Nah, it sounds like.
Not. Okay. Down to 4. Bioshock, Metro, Last of Us, Kentucky.
Metro is my winner here. I don't know if it's going to gain traction because 3, 4 of us have touched it. And then, yeah.
I wouldn't have trouble believing that it's the best though.
Yeah,
Whenever I hear Metro, atmosphere is always like
Good.
the top thing
Good.
mentioned.
Yeah. The cities and seeing that oppressive environment and how people are making the best of it, and they're just so detailed and dense. Even in the intro area, you look around your room, and I took a good 20 minutes getting through there, and then I got my guns, and it's just really cool looking around at everything. And then when you're actually playing the game, like, it's dark most of the time, and except when you go to the overworld, which is probably even scarier because you have to wear gas masks, which is an added tension, and then there are these huge demons flying around that can grab you, which is insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just I was locked in it to win it for that one as soon as I started it, and because it was so much more playable than the first, I wanted to continue playing. It was a little bit harder to get through 2033. Last Light was almost enjoyable. So
Well,
weirdly
that
enough.
makes me want to check it out. I tried a couple hours in 2033, and I
Yeah.
just couldn't
They changed a lot.
get into it.
It's less unique because it's not as awkward, but it's more playable.
Less unique playability is a sacrifice.
It is. I think it was a good sacrifice.
He was my number 2. But then, of course, we just nixed my number 1, but that's beside the point.
You'll get there. He's not the right door.
Yeah.
So what's everyone's winner? I'm curious. Mine's Metro. Tom's was Dead Space.
Mine was Bioshock.
Bioshock. Dave.
Are we still talking about
Atmosphere.
atmosphere? Yeah, I had Bioshock Infinite.
Darren.
Bioshock.
Zach.
The Last of Us.
And Brock. Kentucky Roast.
Well, there's enough Bioshocks to guarantee that it'll at least be in the top 3.
I won in the top 3, Brock. But I don't think it's been.
You can definitely write that one down if you wanted to.
I think it does a fantastic job of atmosphere. Definitely one of the best. So we'll have more people play it for Game of the League.
And you know, if it actually goes someplace, like you guys down it, if it actually does end up being amazing, I'm
Yeah.
most definitely going to check it out.
It definitely could. Yeah. I guess, yeah.
Where are you going there anyway?
I'm okay with Bioshock winning, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm fine with
The
that.
first
Yeah.
hour is a precedent.
Although it's on my top 3, I'll give it to it.
Metro's more atmosphere the entire way through. Bioshock is extremely impressive.
Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
I'm cool.
I mean,
Bioshock Infinite.
I'm alright with it.
Wins Best Atmosphere, first half of the year 2013. Next is Most Funny / Ridiculous.
I think this is the hardest this category has ever been.
Yeah, that's it actually. A lot of very creative funniness going on this year.
So, we have
Ridiculousness.
The Cave, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Lego City Undercover, Battle Block Theater, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, Deadpool, Tokyo Crash Mod, Gunpoint, Runner 2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien, Gunman Clive, Guacamelee.
Some funny games.
We can immediately get rid of Runner 2 and Gunman Clive. I just want to say a couple things about those.
Okay.
Runner 2, there's a character you can play as called Cheeseburger McWetfart. So, there you go. He has a cheeseburger for a head.
Play as a
One
pickle.
thing leads to the next. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That joke
You
was.
can also
that
play
was
as a
pretty
reverse
ridiculous.
merman. So
Nice.
that's pretty awesome. So it is certainly ridiculous. I wanted to mention that. Gunman Clive, once you beat the game, there's a mode where you play as a duck and you can't shoot. It's a 2D side-scrolling shooter. You beat the game and then you unlock duck mode where you can play as a duck and you can't shoot, so you have to dodge everything, and you play through the entire game without being able to kill any enemies.
Right. Cool.
It's cool and funny and ridiculous, and I beat the game in that mode too.
Nice.
So it's fun. It's also very short, so that helps. But yeah, that's a cool little game, and I just want to mention it.
Yeah.
So those are going.
We can cut Gunpoint. I'm not super far into it. The writing's been pretty funny.
Okay.
And it is pretty funny watching him fall off like a 10-story building and crash and get up. It's kind of fun. are some much more funny games and ridiculous games. I nominated Revengeance because it's ridiculous, chopping up guys into hundreds and hundreds of pieces. Other than that, well, there are some just crazy stuff happening in that game.
Yeah.
Sombrero, that's all I have to say.
Sombrero.
He's totally disguising that.
So I laughed out loud at one point just because of the ridiculousness. It's great.
Okay.
How do you feel for it, this category, Isaac?
I don't think it fits that well.
Yeah, it's not my top 3 for sure.
No, just because for this, I mean, you're going to want to go from overall the feel of the game,
Yeah.
and overall, it plays it pretty straight
Yeah, which kind of makes it more ridiculous.
in a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways. But yeah, it's good.
Very ridiculous, but not really much in the way
Yeah.
of humor.
Okay. We're alright with cutting Revengeance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Way too serious.
Honorable mention.
It's an honor just to be nominated, Thomas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tokyo Crash Mobs. Don't really know
That
much
game
about
is
Talk
it.
to me.
ridiculous.
Yes,
Yeah, explain
I
this to
actually
us.
beat this game. Well, the first half, and I let the Black
Oh,
Diary.
Oh, wait a second.
The
This is
black
the
book.
Japanese one.
This is the Japanese one.
Yes.
Goodness.
Which in and of itself justifies its place in Funny Zone.
I played a good maybe 5 hours of this game, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just throwing people in lines. It's like a puzzler. But there's ninjas involved. There's buttons involved. I don't know why. When you die, you fly into the galaxy.
Whoa.
Exactly. I have no idea what's going on.
Crazy.
But it's so ridiculous. But the gameplay is pretty good. It's pretty fun. But yeah, it's weird.
I mean, I think it definitely belongs here. Is it going to be top 3? I don't know. I haven't actually seen it.
Is there enough support for it? That's the
I would say
question.
it's more awkward than.
Yeah, it's just really strange. I don't know if I would call it.
It's
I
very-
certainly wouldn't call it funny.
No,
Ridiculous, at least.
It
yeah,
is-
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
You're playing as a girl trying to get in front of the line. So you're
Oh,
trying
okay.
to take out people to get her into the front of the line.
And weirdly enough, people leave the line when they're in groups of 3
Well, they
colored
die.
matching shirts.
They
Oh,
die.
you're
They
killing
phase
them?
out. Yeah, you're pretty much
Okay.
throwing people.
They all go like this, so I figured they just left.
They go boop.
Okay.
They
Then,
explode a little
okay.
bit.
Then that's
And as you play, you get yarn. You throw the yarn at people, they get out. UFOs come and pick people up or change colors. People will cut in line. Ninjas will come in somewhere randomly. It's ridiculous.
yeah. It's
So,
ridiculous.
but cut.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, we can cut it, yeah.
We tried saying.
It's okay. I'll have that random game in my heart.
cool.
Dave, what are you thinking about this category?
As far as most funny and ridiculous goes, I think that, in my opinion, it's got to go to Lego City Undercover. Because it's got a little bit of both. It's ridiculous in the fact that it's a complete Grand Theft Auto knockoff, but it's done well, and it's done in Lego. And the funny part is every single conversation in the game. It does not lack for humor whatsoever. So, I enjoy that one very much for this category.
Definitely my top.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Top 3 for me.
That was probably my number 2. My number 1 was Battle Block Theater. Just the story in it was just hilarious. I was laughing the entire time. So that's my number 1.
Deadpool's kind of funny.
That's
I
my
can't
number
say
one.
that's not the funniest.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's my number 1.
What?
Deadpool's
When
funny.
Alex,
Ridiculous.
when Alex played it, I was just like, wow, this is ridiculous.
I also think Far Cry
Definition.
3 Blood Dragon has to be top 3.
I think so. To
It's
me,
so
it
ridiculous.
seems like one of the most ridiculous
Things
concepts, like,
ever. And
for
that
a
it,
video game.
the fact that it happened and Ubisoft published it
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
No, I think the fact that your currency is brains and flesh. That's
Cyber.
yeah.
Cyber
Oh,
heart.
cyber hearts. My bad. My bad.
I mean, it's a game that seemed even ridiculous for an April Fool's joke when
Yes.
it was announced.
Yep. No, wait, what?
So like it was actually real and came out almost immediately after. It was
Yeah.
just kind of unbelievable.
So that's 4 strong games.
So going to the cave.
Don't think
not
the cave
gonna
can make it.
No.
It's
No,
really funny.
not with that.
It's
Not
funny,
with
but
that.
those other ones are
Way too good.
It does have a talking cave, which is kind of
Cave's
cool.
just a
Hasn't
good
been done
cave.
since Aladdin.
mixed dating.
Yeah. I heard that line.
So-
It's looking not great for guacamole
Yeah.
either.
No.
Yeah. It's got a lot of funny parts, but again,
Overall, very lighthearted.
You do play as a chicken
Take
at
on
one point,
things.
though.
A lot of
can't
Yeah.
turn into a chicken.
I thought when Brock said
It's
plays
Pollo
cock-
power.
Pollo, sorry. Pollo.
It's no, I mean like that's hilarious.
It is.
Like,
a lot of little side
Oh, yeah,
gags
chicken.
too.
Yep.
A lot on Los Cachos.
chorizo statues.
Casas Crashers. Casa
Yeah.
Crashers.
Yep.
A lot of, QR codes. One of them that you scan.
Yeah,
Congratulations, you have found a QR code. So
Is
it
that what
pops
it
up
is?
when you scan it. Yep. Just a webpage. Congratulations, you
Is
have
that in
found a
that
QR
town?
code. Yep.
Oh, okay, so I know where I saw.
Yep.
I found that one. Didn't know what it was.
They're very funny, but yeah, not.
Yeah.
So
So.
basically, we're down to Lego, Battle Block, Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon, and Deadpool.
Yep.
Yep. Any
Good luck, guys.
objections?
I bow out
Good.
because I've seen no Deadpool. I've played half an hour to 45 minutes of Lego City, played a little bit of Battle Block, and I've played none of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. So have fun.
All you need to do is play 10
We
minutes.
will.
10 minutes.
Yeah. Turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Deadpool sucks.
I'm wearing a Deadpool shirt.
Dude, he's so
That's
funny.
your fault.
Deadpool may
I
suck.
got
it at Goodwill.
Hilarious.
Deadpool is
Yeah.
actually one of my favorite Marvel characters. Not my best. It's one of the best ones.
It's a funny game.
So good.
It's just. Yeah, it's
I wouldn't have
alright.
made it 2 hours in without it being so funny.
Yeah.
It's what everyone plays it for. Everyone knows it's horrible, but the humor just makes it keep coming back.
I actually think it would be better if it was even worse, like laughably bad. But it's just so middling gameplay wise.
Yeah. Like it's
Ugh.
good enough to just like keep going. Like, yeah.
It's like, okay, what's the next show? He thinks a cable is this hot fangirl. But it's not.
He has a song for Cable.
Okay, that was kind of.
I like that.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I walked in on Alex's game of Deadpool, and like I didn't even want to listen to the music in my own game. I just wanted to listen to Deadpool in the background. I don't know if I'd actually play it, but I actually enjoyed listening to the script and everything.
Press X to bitch slap Wolverine.
There's so many of them too. I was so surprised it kept going. and
This
going.
one's for not inviting me. This one's for not letting me drive the what was it called, the Blackhawk?
Blackhawk.
The Blackhawk
Yeah.
until
Until
now.
it crashed it.
Until I crashed.
This one's to see how long the player's gonna keep pressing the button.
Yep. Yeah.
Didn't
It's
you make?
pretty strong.
Didn't you make 10,000 pancakes or something like
1,000 pancakes.
that? 1,000 pancakes.
Yeah, that's the start.
That
I felt
was-
like a reference to something in the comics that I didn't get.
He makes pancakes a lot.
Oh,
He does. Okay.
alright. There you go.
But it was pretty cool.
To talk to your dog, it says dog, do doggy style.
Yeah.
Very classy game. That kind of goes that soon.
Talking to yourself apparently.
Two voices.
Yeah,
That's
and
actually
calling up
amazing.
Nolan North on the phone
Yeah.
to talk to him about voicing Deadpool.
You got far.
But despite all that, I would side with Dave on Lego City.
Sweet.
I was just smiling the entire time. Also because I was playing it, it was fun, even though it shouldn't matter to this guy.
I wasn't really smiling when I fell off a building. I was like, alright, go all the way back up that building.
Slightly,
Is that
Yeah.
saving Natalia? Huh? Saving